Thank you very much for that introduction. Truly appreciate being here with you, and especially being up on stage for the second time today. So good morning, and thank you for joining this important conversation that I'd like to have with you today. As stated, I am David Gadis, and it has been my honor to serve as the CEO and General Manager of DC Water, the water and sewer utility for Washington, D.C. Since 2018, I've been there. I am third generation water. My grandfather started in this business in 1932. My dad started in the business in 1962. I started working at then Indianapolis Water Company when I was 18 years old. And so I've been in this business for quite some time. So water has really been truly a part of my life and my family's life for a long time. One of the first things I did when I arrived at DC Water, as stated earlier, I said that, we talked about having a strategic plan. We needed to understand where we were going and what we needed to do from that standpoint. So we established Blueprint 2.0. It is truly one of those areas in which we needed to establish where we were going and what did the strategy look like for us. The Blueprint 2.0 is built on 5 strategic imperatives, one being healthy, safe, and well, the other being reliable, and the third one being equitable, and fourth and fifth are resilient and sustainable. This morning, I really want to focus on 2 of those, and it's resilient and sustainability. So when we talk about resilience and sustainability in our industry, what does that mean to us? And I would ask you to think about that, and let me tell you a story that happened with us at DC Water, which really reflects on, and we talk about sustainability and also being resilient. Imagine it is July 3rd, the evening before the United States celebrates Independence Day. Independence Day is one of the biggest holidays and celebrations that happens in Washington, D.C. It is truly when U.S. became independent. In the nation's capital, that means thousands of individuals descend on Washington, D.C. to celebrate Independence Day. Additional visitors, the weather is very, very hot, and as a result, that leads to individuals being thirsty, and they want to consume water. That afternoon, a severe algal bloom occurred in the Potomac River, which caused a problem for us at DC Water. At DC Water, without the plants that the one plant that we have, and without the Potomac, we have a real big problem in DC. And as a result of that, we were running out of water very quickly because of that large algal bloom that we had that occurred in the Potomac River. With increased demand from the holiday and the visitors, and the only treatment plant that we have was one treatment plant. If it was not for the heroic efforts of our employees, we would have been out of water. Why? You may ask. It's because Washington, D.C. is the only major city in North America with only one source of water. We are the only major city in North America. That is something that I focused on over the last year and a half, and the way that we have moved in correcting that, we went out and we began to look at how do we make sure that we have a second source of water. Without the second source of water, if we do run out of water due to algal blooms or other things that happen, such as there was a plane crash that happened in DC that many of you may have heard of. It was just miles from our treatment plant. As a result of that, we did avoid a loss of water that day as well. A crisis, to be sure, is what we will have in D.C. if we do lose the Potomac River and if we do not institute a second source of water. The Washington Aqueduct is operated by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and we work very closely with them. But just like the Potomac River, the threat is huge, and any mistake that would be made at the plant or in the Potomac River can cause a true issue and problem for us in Washington, D.C. One of the things that we've done to correct this, we have hired Dr. Rabia Chaudhry. She was the Director of Water Supply Resilience for the Environmental Protection Agency for the federal government. She now has come over to DC Water and is helping us move forward with our idea of reuse. That is where innovation has come into place for us. Without the second source, we run the risk of losing water at hospitals, military bases, schools, and even the White House becomes an issue for us in DC. So it's very important that we move forward with the second source. First, let me say that Dr. Chaudhry and her team have come up with a four-pronged approach. The first prong to that approach is we have to protect the primary source. For us here at DC Water is we need to advance the feasible solutions. We're casting a wide net for many solutions. It's not just one solution. We're looking at desalination. We're looking at groundwater. We're looking at other strategies to boost public support for the final plan. Third, we need to ensure our solution is a subset and really goes along with federal law as well. We have many regional supporters to help us move along as well. And finally, we must improve our water distribution system, including expanded storage, interconnections with neighboring utilities, and also emerging digital tools as well, which was mentioned earlier by His Excellency. That four-pronged approach for us is a long-term roadmap of regional water security. But as I think back to that July 3rd incident, one thing is crystal clear. We do not have the luxury of time on our side. We must move quickly to solve the issue that we have in Washington, D.C. We cannot simply wait for the perfect regional solution to materialize years from now. We must move now, and that is what we are doing. At DC Water, reuse makes sense. We operate and manage and own one of the largest advanced wastewater treatment plant in the world, and we're looking at reusing that water as we move forward in Washington, D.C. Securing a second source is a huge undertaking for us because we are a rate-based organization, and the cost is going to be multiple billions of dollars. It won't happen overnight. We're going to be patient, but we're going to do it the right way. This reality imposes a profound responsibility on us. We must be the best possible stewards of every single drop of water that comes our way. We cannot afford to lose it to any leaks. The panel that you heard here earlier talked about unaccounted for water, and at DC Water we're looking at that as well. We're looking at sensors, we're looking at smart meters, we're looking at data analytics, AI, and also digital twinning. Digital twinning, we think that rehearsal and being able to rehearse things that may happen in our system, we will be able to avoid them in the future as we move forward. Instead of reacting to broken water mains, we can predict that probability if we're good at digital twinning and also looking forward instead of looking backward. As I said, the being reactive is what we don't want to do as we move forward. A great on this team. They've done a great job. We've given them the tools to look forward and help with those emergencies that may come forward for us at DC Water. Through the work at DC Water, the first water utility in the United States to achieve the accreditation of emergency management, that accreditation is also known as EMAP. We're very proud of that. So we already had the best team in place. We're now giving them the best tools in place to handle any emergencies that come forward for us. We are fighting for the long-term security of the second water source, but at the same time, we are building a smarter, more predictive utility from the inside out. Resilience isn't about a backup plan, and neither is a strategic plan to have a backup plan. It's about building a system so intelligent and so robust that you will not need it in order to manage or also to minimize the chance you'll never need it. Thank you very much, and enjoy the conference. Thank you.